Good afternoon, everyone, or maybe hi, hello, if it's in the middle of the night for you as you watch our video. Welcome to the College of International Education. I'm here to share a little bit about the associate degree program here at CIE, and my name is Dr. Teresa Kananan. I'm one of the associate program directors, and I have today with me also a special guest, and we're here to walk you through a little bit about the programs that we have here in case you're contemplating where you want to go in September. So let's take a look at a few of our slides. So here's a little bit of our history in a nutshell. CIE was established in the year 2000, and we are of Christian heritage, and we are of course under the awning of the Hong Kong Baptist University. One of the cool things about CIE is that we have twin campuses, and where you see me right now, I'm in the Learning Commons. This is a cool room for our students, and our students come here to do their assignments and all sorts of stuff, especially if they want things printed. So this is the Learning Commons here in the Shek Mun campus. But our students are also eligible, and they can study and use the facilities in the Kowloon Tong campus as well. So most of our students kind of, jockey back and forth from Kowloon Tong to Shek Mun, depending on where they want to go. But normally, if you choose a particular concentration study, you will be studying in that particular campus. So let's take a look at our facilities. I guess college life is really all about facilities here, isn't it? So this was taken on a nice blue sky sunny day, and let's take a look at the photos on the right side of your screen there. Maybe on the left column you'll see two of our students in the communications lab. I suppose you guys know that the Hong Kong Baptist University is pretty well known for their communications program. And so many of our students who come to our associate degree program, they also might want to choose communications, and many of them move on to our third year and fourth year programs in the degree program, the bachelor's degree program with Hong Kong Baptist University. So that's the communications lab for you. Just below that is another picture, another kind of lab for another type of student, and these are for our science students. So those of you who are familiar with beakers and Bunsen burners and stuff like that and microscope, I think you kind of know what that picture is about. Right below that is our gym. We have two big gyms, and this is where we kind of chill out and when we exercise and do our basketball and stuff like that. On the right-hand column, you'll see a really nice picture of our auditorium. It can sit up to just over 500 people, in fact, and that's where we host most of our school activities and our commencement activities or seminars and talks and things like that. So right below that is our Learning Commons, and that's where you see me right now. And of course, what is a university if it doesn't have a library? There's a picture of our library in the bottom right-hand corner over there. Right, so here is also a nice picture of our campus in Kowloon Tong. Our track is over there in the Kowloon Tong campus. Oh, but by the way, we actually have swimming pools in both campuses as well. So the other, you can see some eateries there. I think those of you who might have visited the Kowloon Tong campus might be familiar with the eateries there. So there's also another picture of our library on the right-hand column of those photos there. Okay, so if you notice, there's a number, a magic number, 88.8%. So keep that in mind. I'm going to come to that in a minute, because right now we're going to take a look at the 5 reasons why you should consider coming to CIE. So one of the key reasons for coming, I think, is when a student makes the decision to do an associate degree program, it actually allows that person to take a pause and think where that person wants to continue after 2 years of academic training. So some of us sometimes don't really have a clear thought yet of what choices we want to make in life, and then we want to kind of make the decision as we move along. And so the associate degree program is possibly one of the opportunities for you to consider major if you want to continue into tertiary education. So what is this 88.8%? This is the percentage of our students who move on to a third-year program. So in a minute, I actually invited one of my students on board today, and she's going to have a chat with me, and we're going to let you know what it's been like for her to have experienced the associate degree program with CIE. So we have here like kind of like 3 boxes for you to look at, and this is the articulation pathways. So to your left, now most of us are DSE graduates, but we also accept students who've done the Gaohao exams in the mainland, and we also accept our students who've done the IB program, the A levels. So it really depends on what your qualifications you have. So as long as you meet the minimum requirements, I think you're good to go. Some of us might need to attend an interview, but for those of us who are DSE graduates, we pretty much will just ask you for your results when the results come out. So in the middle box there, that's where you are when you join us for the 2-year program. And to your right is the programs for year 3 and year 4. So where do our students go after 2 years? Some of them go to UGC funded programs, some of them go to top-up programs, some of them go overseas. And some of them, well, they prefer to take a hiatus and maybe go out and join the workforce. So all roads lead to Rome. Depends on where you want to go sometimes, isn't it? Now, let's take a look at this slide here. One of the more crucial questions a lot of students ask, College of International Education, never heard of that. Well, you do now, and we are under the Hong Kong Baptist University. So the diploma that you will be receiving will be from the Hong Kong Baptist University. So you'll see the one on the left side is the one that our AD students will get, and the one on the right side is what we normally award our students with when they finish their degree program. Okay, so again, the magic number, 88.8. So again, most of our students will continue into a year 3 and year 4 program. I'll save that for a little bit later on when we get to chat with one of my students. Okay, so here's a quick look. We do have partnerships with overseas universities, and you can see we have connections with universities in the UK, the US, Australia, and as well as Canada. And let's move over to this slide over here. So back to reality, where do I go after I finish my AD program? So it's important for you to know that we are a 2+2 program, so you won't feel like you're in limbo after a 2-year training with associate degree. When you finish, you can actually move on to your year 3 and year 4 program here at CIE. So there's no need for you to go elsewhere if you prefer to just go on this one track and stay with the Hong Kong Baptist University. So what's cool about our program as well is that, say for example, you enroll into a program for AD and say you decide to you want to major in psychology, and that's what you've enrolled in our program for. After 2 years though, you figured, I think I'm more business-minded. I probably also want to do something to do with HR. And so you have that choice, you have that opportunity to apply for a year 3 program that does not have a direct relation with your first degree, which is the associate degree. But anyway, come and have a chat with us, and we'll advise you and we'll let you know more and see how we can help you in your enrollment. So here are the various kinds of qualifications that we have received and accepted so far, and also it's also dealt in a case-by-case basis. Most of us are, as I said, DSE graduates, so we don't have to worry too much about that, and you just send in your results and then leave everything else with the rest of us. This slide here, it might not make too much sense for you at the moment, but like many degree programs, you have to take about 62 units to complete the first 2 years of your program. So the blue bit here is actually we call it concentration study. So say you want to be an English major, you have to take 24 credits that is directly related to your English major. And the 38 is a mixture of all sorts of other courses that will interest you. And in fact, this is part of the curriculum in most of the universities here in Hong Kong. We offer, at our university, we call it the General Education Core Courses. In other universities, they call it by a different name. But having said that, many university students are expected to study courses that are not exactly directly related to their concentration or their major, but it's important that they get a training that will increase their knowledge in other disciplines as well. So you can be an English major, but in the course of the 2 years, you probably fall in love with philosophy. And then maybe you decide, oh, I think I want to do philosophy in my 3rd and 4th years. So that's what happens when you take courses in those 38 units. It's really a self-discovery journey. Okay, here we go. I'm about to show you very quickly, kind of in a nutshell, the 5 divisions that we have here at CIE, and I will start with the Division of Applied Science. So I'm not a science person per se, not much, but I have a lot of respect for the scientists out there and all my science teachers, colleagues who teach this program. So we have a large range of different concentration studies for you to choose from. But I can tell you in the last couple of years, I think a lot of students are very interested in taking the Geography and Resources Management course. So, but it's really up to you. And if you want to continue at CIE with your Year 3 and Year 4 program, we also have this program for you to articulate to. Okay, here we have the Division of Arts and Languages, which is where I'm with. And if I start backwards, if you're interested in cultural studies and the creative industries, this is the Year 3 and Year 4 program that you can articulate to. But of course, like I said, you might not want to study in this particular division after 2 years, and you might be interested in moving on to something else. But here are the 5 courses, concentration studies that we offer in the Division of Arts and Languages. And I kind of teach cultural studies and the course in professional communication and English studies as well. So we'll come back to that in a bit. Here we have the Division of Business. So I've recently myself been very interested in this area of discipline. But if you take a look at this particular slide, our students actually have a couple more options as opposed to the other 2 divisions. They have 3 more options to choose to articulate to if they want to move on to a Year 3 and Year 4 program. So those of us who joined the Division of Business, from my experience, I think, well, they're kind of spread out, and different students choose their area of interest in the business field. So we have accountancy, we have hospitality management, we have financial management. So it kind of caters to really what your interests are. Okay, then we have Division of Communication, and I guess, like I said, I think I said earlier on, Hong Kong Baptist University is known for their training in communication, and you'll see for our associate degree program, we have a lot of options for you to choose from. And if you want to articulate to Year 3 and Year 4, we also have 3 more options for you to choose from. So there you go. And last but not least is the Division of Social Sciences. So you'll see in our associate degree program, we also have many options for you to choose from, including psychology and history, my own 2 favorite subjects when I was a high school student. But anyway, that was many moons ago. If you take a look at our Year 3 and Year 4 program, it's really quite a variety for you to choose from there. So I think we pretty much have it covered. Right, so let's take a look at a few things outside of the classroom, something that kind of it covers more than just, learning stuff, books and notes and Zoom classrooms and things like that. College life is more than just books. So we have a lot of activities for our students. I mean, granted, everyone has suffered from the challenges raised by the pandemic. But nonetheless, I think like all universities, we try our best and we encourage our students to take part in activities in spite of the pandemic. So I'm going to show you a little bit, a few clips for our students out there who might be interested. Let's have a look. Right, there you go. You can see a lot of pictures there to share with you. CIE is really a vibrant college life. So in spite of the pandemic, you can see that our students still are able to enjoy things about college life. You've seen pictures with masks and without masks. And it's been quite a challenge for everybody around the world, of course. But anyway, let's come back to maybe the more crucial questions that most of us want to ask, which is the tuition, right? So you see it right there. The one thing is you might not be familiar with is that in fact, as an applicant, a tertiary student, the government offers a lot of support for financial help when it comes to tuition. So we don't really have to worry too much about that because there is a lot of support in terms of financial aid. Okay, so those of you who are in the DSE zone, I think you are very familiar with the e-app. If you're not, please ask your teacher. I'm sure your teachers will explain that to you and how you can use that. But you can, of course, I'm sure you guys are very savvy about these things and you know how to send in your applications. So you can find us there, right? And of course, the requirements, and the basic requirements, of course, is that you have a pass in your English language and your Chinese language, and of course a level 2 in the core courses that you take in DSE. So this is for the DSE folks, okay? So if you're coming in with other qualifications, you're more than welcome to let us know. Of course, we'll take that into consideration as well. Okay, so don't go away yet. You can screen cap this and always give us a call. We'll be more than happy to have a chat with you. And if you have any particular question regarding a particular division, we'll be very happy to answer questions for you. But don't go away. I'm going to invite one of my students and we're going to have a chat so that you can meet her. See you in a bit. Hi, welcome back. Okay, so right here on my left is the beautiful Zena Sultan. She's one of my students. No favoritism, but hey, who's asking, right? Zena was actually one of my students in my, what's it called now? Language of Modern Theater, right? And it's an elective course, and I'm going to have Zena introduce herself to you, and then we'll have a nice chat about AD program at CIE.
Hello everybody, I'm Zena Sultan and I'm a year 2 student. I've actually already graduated, you could say. So I've studied 2 years at PANG, which is also known as Professional Communication and English Studies program. Yeah.
I'm actually kind of stoked right now because Zena actually is one of our scholarship holders, right? Zena received the HSBC scholarship. So I think, did you expect this would happen when you joined the school, or?
Actually, not at all. When I came here, I was completely clueless. I had no idea what's going on. But of course, with the support of my course teachers and the staff at CIE, they actually helped me, and then they offered me and kept me up to date on scholarships and internships. So that's where I got to know the HSBC scholarship and applied for it.
Well, of course, the effort starts with you, right? Because Zena's GPA is pretty cool, so of course we nominated Zena for the scholarship. But that aside, I was just, telling the folks out there how difficult it has been. I've chosen not to wear my mask today, but don't worry, I'm kind of safe. But how has it been like, going to school pretty much without campus life because of the pandemic? Do you feel that you've, do you feel that learning has been stunted, or?
I actually think that it's been completely fine, personally. Obviously, people with some other problems would have difficulties, but for me, I feel like our classes were conducted on Zoom, like everybody else, and it didn't feel like we're being restricted or anything. We were still taught the same things that we would be taught on campus as well. We were also advised, encouraged to show ourselves on camera as well, to make it feel less lonely, so the teachers could get to know us better. But I feel like whether you're on campus or off campus, what matters is your dedication and your motivation, what keeps you motivated to study.
Good to know. Okay, Zena, tell us a little bit about this option that you've made to study Peng. Do you feel that it's helping you to make a career choice, academic career choice, for your year 3 and year 4?
So when I came into Peng, I had like a little plan in my mind of wanting to becoming a teacher in the future. And after going through the 2 years with Peng, I feel like it made me more interested in wanting to be a teacher, because the things and the courses that I've learned, I've come across that the things that I'm weak at and my strengths and my interests, which obviously is in English. So I've decided to continue my studies in English at a UGC funded program.
Yes. Well, we can't reveal the name of the school, but Zena's going to move on to a UG-funded program and for her year 3 and year 4, which is a bachelor's degree for English, right? That's really cool. Tell us a little bit about your experience studying GE course, because that's probably, can you think of one that's not directly related to Peng, but kind of probably opened your mind to something that you probably didn't expect 2 years ago?
One of the things I'd say is the language of modern theater.
Oh, that's my subject.
Yes,
okay, we didn't rehearse this.
So I've never been into acting or scripts or anything, although I do love watching movies. And this course actually introduced me into the world of acting and the world of movies and stuff. Like, obviously it's not only about movies and dramas, but I feel like it was a great learning experience, because I never thought I would do this. I never thought I'd be
I can't remember the movie that we watched. What was it? It was Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Oh yes.
That was one of the films that we did. Okay, no, really, we didn't rehearse this, but yeah, the language of modern theater is actually an elective course that we have here, and it's open to everybody. And I feel that sometimes it's really probably not the major course that you're studying that kind of opens up your mind to other new experience. Did it boost your confidence in any way? Learning how to act, maybe?
I feel like it did, because obviously I never thought I'd be performing in front of an audience. So by an audience, I mean just your classmates. But it was definitely a great experience, because obviously, when else will I get to experience such a course? And so yeah, it was great.
I think it was also very challenging because we had to do it over Zoom, didn't we? Right? Yeah. Well, anyway, okay. How about, I know some students will have questions, so we actually have saved some here on our iPad here. How about, would you like to read those two questions, this one and that one?
Okay. So the first question is, how many concentration studies is CIE offering? So currently CIE is offering associate degree of 30 concentration studies, which is from 5 different divisions.
Yeah, so we just kind of walked through those 5 ones just now. And
how many students were admitted in the year 2021 or in 2022?
Yeah.
So there were about 1,300 students that were admitted.
So we're kind of like a smallish college, but we also, because our community is slightly smaller, we're able to spend more time with our students. So having said that, I think, well, you'll know once you come to CIE, I guess it really depends on how you make use of the opportunities that come your way, right? I just feel bad how the pandemic has affected us in many different ways. But Zena, what's your advice for our upcoming graduates from high school? Maybe kind of lost, I don't know.
Okay. So one thing that is very important is, for example, if you are a DSC candidate and you found out that you haven't made it to your dream UGC funded program. However, one thing I'd say is that please do not be disappointed, because there are different pathways. For example, the associate degree, you could obviously come to an associate degree, make it through these 2 years, and then you could move on to a UGC program for year 3. So of course, there would be people that would say that it's different and that these 2 years are nothing compared to the UGC program, but do not
like
listen.
the 4-year program.
Yeah, the 4-year program. So I feel like just do not listen to them. Try your best. Try your best. Do your best, and then you could move on to your the remaining 2 years of a UGC program.
Right. I mean, don't get us wrong. Of course, we all want to finish our, complete our bachelor's degree program. I think what Zena and I are really trying to share with you is that the associate degree program is something that's already very well established in Hong Kong, and many students who opt to do an associate degree program are able to spend those 2 years thinking through what they really want, or maybe some people haven't really made a firm decision yet. And it kind of allows you time to think things through, right? But you kind of knew you wanted to be an English teacher since day one.
Yes,
and so you're working your way, and fortunately for you, right?
Yes.
And you know where you want to go. But anyway, like the saying goes, the cliche goes, right? All roads lead to Rome. Well, anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for spending this much time with us here at CIE and with me as well. And congratulations, Zena. I mean, 2 years really just went by so quickly.
Just a blink of an eye.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you
Well
so
done.
much.
Bye, guys. See you in September.